So the Sith Troopers of Episode 9 were revealed not too long ago to be these very distinct-looking red Stormtroopers for the First Order. Today is kind of a theory speculation video, which I don't do all that often, but I've been thinking about how they could potentially be involved in something I would really love to see in the Rise of Skywalker, a Stormtrooper Revolt. I've done a video on this before, but I think having Finn be like the first stone of an avalanche would be really cool. That all these kidnapped, displaced, faceless soldiers would see that they could turn against their programming and rise up against those that control them. I love this idea because it would give an arc to all the white-armored, faceless troopers of every trilogy. Clone troopers, the original Stormtroopers, and now the First Order Stormtroopers would be able to get some redemption of their own. The last time we saw the Resistance, there were only a handful of them. Oscar Isaac has described their fighting style in Episode 9 as guerrilla warfare, which makes sense, but I think it would be odd if we didn't see a big ol' Star Wars-y battle in the final chapter of the Skywalker saga. But how can we have that with so few people on one side? Well, there is always the chance that the Resistance has grown significantly during the time jump, or we might not get a big battle at all, but assuming that there will be a large-scale fight, I think one of the potential ways that could happen is by taking the biggest army in the galaxy and splitting it in half. If that happens, it sure would be hard to know who had sided with the Resistance and who was still with the First Order, unless one side were wearing bright red armor. At San Diego Comic-Con, we learned more about the Sith Trooper. In its ultimate push towards galactic conquest, the First Order readies an army of elite soldiers that draw inspiration and power from a dark and ancient legacy. So we could have the most zealous elite stormtroopers stay with the First Order, fighting against the regular troopers that were able to break free of their programming. From my time spent reading and watching nearly every Star Wars story that's come out in the new canon, I've noticed a lot of stories focusing on who stormtroopers are underneath their helmets. We're being reminded that they are people. We get to see their training and inhumane treatment, their programming, brainwashing, and manipulation, all of which are themes that have been explored since the Clone Troopers. It could be that those are interesting topics to explore outside of the films, or maybe it's a hint at what's to come in the Rise of Skywalker. But who's to say right now? It's just an idea I enjoy. We still don't have any idea what the true nature of the Sith Trooper is or who they're loyal to. There are plenty of possibilities here, including loyalty to Palpatine or something. This is definitely a case of taking something new and seeing what I want to see. I don't want to pretend that's not what's going on. I'd love a Stormtrooper Revolt, but it might be too confusing for them to switch sides in the final chapter. Although it's kind of poetic to have the descendants of the Clone Troopers go from the dark side to the light, maybe saving the Jedi Order this time rather than destroying it. But what do you guys think? Am I speculating responsibly, or is this just wishful thinking to the max? Let me know in the comments. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and consider checking out our Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.